Hey guys, I'm Nick and welcome back to the channel. Well, we did a live stream yesterday, had a bit of a chat about some latest bits and pieces going on in the world of Strange New Worlds, and one of those things we talked about was the sneak peek scene for the next episode of the show, which is entitled Lost in Translation. So we're going to play you a little bit of a clip from yesterday's live stream where me and the guys had a bit of a chat about the scene, what we thought of certain characters and what's happening in the state of the show and everything, and just a bit of speculation as to what's coming up in our next episode of Strange New Worlds. So let's have a look at that clip from yesterday's live stream, but we have a sneak peek scene for next week's episode to have a bit of a look at and see what we've got coming up for episode 6, which is entitled Lost in Translation, which seems like it's going to be a very Pelia-focused episode. We'll have a bit of a look at the sneak peek scene and pause at moments and chat about bits and pieces. Let's have a look.
Finally! Okay, life support's been stabilized. Are you kidding me? We need to send a team to Deck 5 to get the EPS regulators back online.
Yes, but that is going to have to wait. One of my teams found something in the fuel distribution system.
Where do we think this is actually taking place? Are they meant to be inside of like a nacelle or something here? Would you say, because this is not engineering?
It's so big, it drives me nuts.
Yeah.
It's just way too big. That, like, from that perspective, the Enterprise in Strange New Worlds is like 5 times bigger than the Enterprise we've ever seen before.
Obviously, we've seen the engineering section, which is, which I think is sized appropriately with the warp core and everything. But this looks like
an updated version of like the TOS Enterprise.
I mean, if I had to guess, I would say they're like inside one of the nacelles, looking down the length of the inside of one of the nacelles. Yeah.
But it seems way too big to be that. It's very difficult. That perspective, I understand it looks better cinematically. There's got to be some kind of consistency. You can't make it 5 times bigger than what we remember.
Like I said, I don't care about those kinds of things if it's inconsistency between like a show that was made 50 years ago. I mean, if this was like if they established that, the Enterprise in this show was a certain interior scale, and then like in a subsequent season of this show they just completely changed it, that might be a problem. But again, and I realize I'm an outlier here, but like if I cared about what happened in the show, if the stories were still grabbing me, I probably wouldn't care about that either.
This is clearly 25 times larger than what we remember.
Looking at this, if it is in fact them in a nacelle, looking down the nacelle, like there's control panels and there's like bulkheads and everything. I always assumed that the nacelle was like this enormous energy reactor thing that basically would be essentially like what the warp core is.
That's what they established in Enterprise. The nacelle was almost entirely engine, and there was a small
crawl
Jeffries
space, Jeffries tube. But you could, but this is quite expansive here. Like you could practically have a football game inside this thing.
You could fit rabbits in there. Let's get some beds.
Put a few Olympic-sized swimming pools in there.
Shower.
I think it's Discovery's turbo lift shaft, isn't it? From Discovery, yeah.
Oh my God, that's
space.
right.
Yes, those insane turbo lift.
That was ridiculous. That was insane.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was insane, but you know what? The more angry I saw people getting about it, the more I liked it.
Of course.
I thought it was ridiculous. I thought it was ridiculous too. I remember watching that episode going, where are they? Where is this in the ship?
Is this the TARDIS?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, like what is it? But then I thought that, and then I thought, oh man, my fellow Trekkies are going to lose their minds over this, and a lot of them did.
Yes.
And again, like if I were making the show, I might be more careful about that. I might be like, where is this supposed to be in the ship? Can we tighten this up? Can we make this a little more sensible? But it is what it is.
So let's keep watching the scene and see what else it's got to offer for us.
That system was online already. What were you... You disobeyed my direct orders and went digging around in the functioning systems.
If I had followed your orders to the letter, we would never have found evidence of sabotage.
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 Dun dun dun.
Sabotage.
Yes.
I love her accent. I love her, just the whole way about her.
I love Carol Kane.
Yeah, she's
It's
awesome.
hard for
Oh,
me
she's
not to
she's
like
awesome.
her.
She's amazing.
She reminds me of one of the Golden Girls,
of the episodes we've gotten so far in this second season. The only one that I have kind of tipped toward not liking was episode 1, and one of the reasons was that they introduced Carol Kane's character and they set her up as like, oh, she's going to be an important part of the story. And then she vanishes for the entire episode until she has that scene with Spock at the end.
Yeah.
And I was like, what happened to her? She looked cool. She looked interesting. And
that's how they treat all engineers though, Steve. That's all. For some reason, they treat all engineers that way. Like, here, check out this new character.
Yeah.
You're gonna love them. Now, they're gone.
Yes,
don't get used to it.
Exactly.
Don't get used to it.
Just when she all grows on us, and finds that place in our hearts amongst all the other Star Trek characters, they'll be ripped from under the bottom of us, and we'll be left without a chief engineer again, no doubt.
Yeah, they're 100% gonna kill Carol Kane.
Maybe that will be one of the running jokes of this series. That for as long as it
Yes.
runs, there'll be a new engineer like every season that they kill off. Because
until we get to
Scotty. Yeah, like Scotty will come aboard like in the last 5 minutes of the last episode, and Captain Pike will be like, "Hey, good luck,"
we saw that. Remember, we got his voice in the last episode of last.
That's true. That's true. So he was there. But yeah, and the thing I love about the Carol Kane character, Pelia, is she's been alive for so long, and she's so bored at this point that she's basically up for whatever. Like as long as it's fun, as long as it's interesting, like let's go, let's do it, let's great. And I love that quality.
I sort of get that though. Like after 3,000 years, like at what point are you just need to do something different?
Yeah,
exactly.
There's everything.
I get bored after a few hours.
I think she'll end up being a good character. Like I get a good vibe. I mean, all the other shows that she's always been in, from Taxi to Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt and everything. I mean, she always plays the same sort of character, even though there's a little bit of Princess Bride. Yeah. Yes, right. Yeah. They're always kind of in the same sort of ballpark, but they're always highly entertaining. So yeah, I hope she, I mean, Hemmer made it to 8 or 9 episodes. So I guess we'll see if she, makes it.
I assume she'll make it most of the way through the season before they bump her off.
We might get 2 seasons with her, maybe tops. There's no way she survives through this ordeal.
No.
I'm sorry, but I don't see it happening because they have to eventually get to Scotty.
Hope you've enjoyed this little excerpt from our live show yesterday and chatting about Star Trek Strange New Worlds Episode 6, Lost in Translation. Guys, if you haven't subscribed to Sci-Finatics yet, don't be shy to do so. Click on that big subscribe button to stay current and up to date with all the latest Star Trek news on YouTube. Check out the merch store, heaps of Star Trek hoodies, mugs, caps, stickers, you name it, all there. Really good bargain prices and help support the channel at the same time. I'll be back soon with my next video. I'll catch you guys soon.